What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Thursday night live stream here on Drums and Drams. I still haven't found that King Kentucky Batch 1 sample from last week. So I looked for it probably 3 other times, and I'm pretty convinced I threw it away. So, in case you're wondering, it's gone. So I gotta buy another sample. Unless somebody out there has some King Kentucky Batch 1. Speaking of that, it's gonna be a fun night. We've got a lot of stuff to taste. We have possibly some surprise activities with blinds and things. I just heard Sarah get home. She has to write some cards if we're going to do this blind. I was going to say some other stuff, and it all just completely left my head. It all is gone now. So I just got back from an event with the Symphony, and yeah, so I'm a little bit, my head's all over the place. But you saw the thumbnail. You saw what we're going to be tasting this evening. We've got all the new Jack Daniel's stuff, so Jack 10, 12, 14, all the brand new batches. Have some stuff that I picked up today kind of on a whim at the liquor store. I like to do that, once a month or so, just kind of walk the aisle, look at the allocated counter, grab $300-$400 worth of stuff, try it on a stream, all that kind of thing. That includes these two High Bank products, which are distilled by High Bank. These are their first distillations. So this is a 93 proof bourbon, and then this is just a cask strength bourbon. And you know what? If I would have known, they're different colors, and I thought the green was like an American whiskey for some reason. I don't know why, but it's also bourbon. So I would have just grabbed the barrel proof, but I grabbed them both. So whatever. So we have both of those. This is a bottle that I, for some reason, haven't had yet. I mean, I had the little mini 375 version, which was actually pretty darn good for what it was. This is a cask strength bottled in bond from Angel's Envy, and it's unfinished, which is good for me. I don't tend to like all that finished stuff too much from them. Then we have another one, the Woodford Reserve Sweet Oak Bourbon, with a pretty decent proof actually, 110.4, which is great for Woodford. It's above their typical 90.4. Then we got the big dog, the thing that everyone's probably wondering about, which is the Heaven Hill 22. We're going to take a look at this. We'll do some comparisons, kind of put it through the ringer, and just see how this thing comes out. Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking. I had something like that I wanted to say at the beginning of the stream, but it's just totally gone. So let me see who's here tonight. Hit that like button on your way in. We're going to have fun. Sarah did just get home, so let me send her a text real quick and ask her if she can write these cards. Okay. Because if you were here last week, which 2 weeks in a row for streaming, very rare these days. Content, even rare. Still looking for that stuff. But last week, I had a blind to do from Zach, who's a Patreon member, just, amazing supporter, and who has a great palate for funky things. So I like that about Zach too. He sent these samples, and a bunch of them were like wacky and tainted. And so he resent those, and they got here today. He had to change one of them out, he said, so Sarah would have to rewrite the cards from last week. So that's the blind that I'm talking about. It's just going to be kind of like a regular old blind, making guesses, ranking them, all that kind of stuff. No idea what point he's trying to get across, if any. So that would be fun if we could get into it tonight. I can't go too crazy. I have a fairly stressful dress rehearsal at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Usually on days like these, on weeks that I'm working, I try to not do streams, but it's just kind of turned out that we're streaming on these nights. So let me get a pour of something to set my palate. Eagle Rare 12. Oh, I know what it was. I was thinking about the King Kentucky Batch 1 sample. I've gotten a few emails this week. By the way, I have not responded to any emails this week. Sorry about that. I got some emails from folks who were asking about how to send samples in. Some are Patreon members, some are not Patreon members. I will get back to you. If I don't know you, like if it's just a totally random person, it is nothing against you. I may have to decline the samples. It just depends on what it is. If we have mutual friends, sending open things is kind of sketchy. Like if I don't know who it is and it's just a random, like, especially if it's a burner email, that kind of worries me. So when it's a Patreon member, it's a little easier to trust, and that is not me trying to get you to join the Patreon, I promise. But when I have your email address and I have some way to contact you, and like there is a little bit more legitimacy, that makes me feel a little bit better. Still, if I don't know you, I always want to be careful. So if I owe you an email, I apologize about that. For anybody who was thinking about last week's giveaways, I have everybody's contact now. I've reached out to all the winners. I'm waiting on one more address, and then I'm going to get all that stuff dropped off. All right, let's see who's here. Don, good to see you, man. Anything from Mike's best friend. The new Magnus cigar blends are supposed to be a return to form for some reason, or am I making stuff up? No, you're not. I keep hearing that the new Magnus cigar blends have definitely made a step up. I had, and Nancy will probably see this video because Nancy, she's good. She's good at if Magnus is on a live stream, she knows that she's there, which is cool. I don't know if it's the thumbnails that she sees, if she's subscribed and gets the push notifications. But I don't even know what the batch numbers were. They were in maybe the 200s or something. Were the ones that I thought had that really yeasty MGP profile that I'm not the biggest fan of. That's not just a Magnus thing. That's all MGP sourcing in the last couple of years has been very, very hit or miss, with more misses for me because of that yeast profile. But I keep hearing that the new ones are great and that the MGP stock has gotten better, and that might even show with the proof, because the proof on this is lower. This is 58.95%, and that harkens back to the OG Magnus batches. And so yeah, this was today. I saw this on the allocated shelf, and I was just maybe I'll pick it up. Sarah? What? Oh, are these the cards? Yeah. The new ones. Mm-hmm. Are you okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw a dead dog on the side of the road.
A dead dog?
I started crying on the way home.
My pregnant hormonal wife is crying right now. I feel like I should go hug her, but I'm working and she needs to leave me alone.
I'm not to say, I fixed the hormones hit me.
Now the cat... Wait, these are the... Did you not need to rewrite all of them?
Not all of them.
Oh, okay.
Also, do not lock her down.
I won't lock her down. The cat's down here. The whole family's down here. There's so many hormones in the room.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye. Love you. Imagine that I hugged you.
Okay.
All right. Sick. Anyways. I'm going to keep scrolling down. No drink tonight. Holding off till after my annual physical tomorrow. Good move, Sam. Hope that goes well. You should drink before the physical. Oh, God. Ed is a bad influence. To test the accuracy. That is a bad influence. Be safe tonight. No, when did I get on? 9:08? I think we did okay tonight. Walter and Heisenberg in the glass. John, let me know what you think, man. I can't remember if you've cracked those yet. I don't think I've seen that you have. Hopefully JD14 is just so-so. By the way, cheers. Let me know what's in your glass, guys. Igor a 12 for me. Hopefully JD14 is just so-so compared to Coy Hill Sub 130. Don't hate on me for that. I'm very curious to see, because the new Jack 14, guys, lower proof on this one. 117.6. So we are, 8 point what? Is it 8 point... I'm not going to do math, right? Yeah, I am. 8.7, I think, proof points. Because I think the previous was 123.6, if I remember. We'll do the comparison later. Damn, you were too harsh on Heaven Hill 22, says Justin. Well, I'm going to revisit tonight, man. Maybe I was in a bad mood. But guys, Patreon members, I jumped on and we talked about Heaven Hill 22 yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago. I was pretty hard on it. No spoilers. We'll get there. We be comparing Jack 14s. Yes, we will do that. You'll remember it when you don't want to. That's exactly what happened, Don. Already know I decided to pass on Heaven Hill 22 for now yesterday, and tonight I'll probably decide to buy it. Content soon, says Adam. Yeah, dude, soon. The famous last words. Bev Porter. Hey, Kim, haven't seen you around on Friday. Hope everything's going well. Bev, I've just been really busy. No one's even seen me around on Thursdays, or a couple Thursdays now, but no other days of the week. So I hope you and Matt are doing well. Mama Porter. Good to see you, Slad. Jeb, I hate you so much. The cat is for sure getting locked down there. Go hug her. I said imagine it. Imagine it. Patient. Okay. All right. Go give your wife a hug. We can wait. She'll be okay. She knows I love her. All right, guys. Listen. We had I think last week's giveaway. I don't like to do giveaways on every stream, but I also understand that when things just drop and you have the opportunity to get samples, that people want those. So here's what I'm going to say tonight. We're doing a giveaway tonight of You can see it in the description of the video. If you don't see it down there, refresh your page, okay? Reload the page on mobile. We will do a giveaway, 2 sample packs, everything you see tonight. It's a total of 12 pours because it's also going to include 3 drums and drams picks in there, 2 of which are these 149 proof short barrel Bartons and an Armagnac pick from Dark Arts so that you can compare that to the Magnus. You guys know how it works. I'll put the banner up, but I'm just going to like ask you, please don't go crazy tonight. Just throw a couple entries in or whatever if you're interested in the sample pack, but like, please don't go crazy. You've been very generous recently, but I know also people want to taste these Jacks. I'm going to give some away tonight, some of these samples, and also give it away to Patreon members because I have 2 giveaways for that coming up as well. Okay, so you know how it works. Let's go to our first pour of the night, which I'm actually going to start with the High Bank. So some of you might not be familiar with this brand, and admittedly, like I'm not that familiar as far as, like, I don't know the guys behind High Bank. They typically have sourced, and I knew always that they were planning on distilling and making their own stuff. But for years, they've sourced. They've won a lot of awards, interestingly, like for this thing they call Whiskey War Barrel Proof, which is an American whiskey blend. I don't know why it's classified as American. I don't know what mashes are in it, but I think most of it, if not all of it, is MGP sourced. Truthfully, I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of High Bank. Early days of the channel, they came out with these white label limited edition bottles that had this pretty cool cork topper, if you've seen the crossed gun cork topper from those guys. And they were doing some wine finishes, and I actually thought some of those were really good. Back then, I liked wine finishes a lot more. And, you know, as time went on, they really focused on that Whiskey War stuff because it was winning awards. And, again, not the biggest fan. Also, Watershed, another local brand, never loved it. A lot of the whiskey that I got from these places seemed kind of lacking, like anemic. There wasn't enough body in there for whatever reason. I don't know if it's distillate, if it's cooperage, whatever, aging conditions. Middle West Spirits is my favorite distillery in town, bar none, and I don't really think it's close. There's a new one, Leather and Oak, which is a whole other story. We've talked about them already. But I wanted to try High Bank's own distillate. That's what this is. So this is batch 4. It's cut down to 93 proof. And then I've got the barrel proof, which I will go ahead, I'll get this poured out as well. We'll do a quick kind of Ohio local review. It's exciting for me because it's their own stuff. So I don't have like any preconceptions for this because the stuff they were sourcing, it was sourced. If they like that profile, if they go for that same profile with their own stuff, then I might not like this stuff, right? Because that Whiskey War never really did it for me. Joe, you're asking us to... I'm just saying, like, if you guys want to be entered, just like throw $5 or $10 in and like, test your luck. We're not giving away like a $700 bottle tonight or something like that. So, it doesn't feel right. Proportionality feels right, is what I'm saying. Like, if I'm giving away $1,500 worth of stuff, you know what I mean? And there's like $1,700 in the pot. Like, that feels a lot better to me than giving away some samples like this. And there's like 400 super chats. Like I don't like that. All right, let's go on to this small batch first. Okay, so crafty, number 1. Didn't know what to expect. Let me see on the bottle if they discuss their distillation, if it's a column or a pot still. And some of you guys probably know. All my friends, I feel like, have gone over to High Bank. I've been there, but I've never like toured the actual distillation area. I've just been in the restaurant. Yeah, I don't know if it's pot or column. If anybody finds out, please let me know. Jason said the $40 did go through. Really? Jason, I believe you. So we'll kick off tonight because I don't think did I give you those entries, Jason, or not last time? Do you remember? Because I'll give them to you tonight. If the transaction went through, that's totally just weird. All right. So yeah, this is crafty. There's like a honey barley almost kind of note. It also reminds me a little bit of like a pot still distillation. Huh. It is very honey sweet. This was that was the Igor at 12. I feel like I need to, what would be a Any Ohio guys in here? Any thoughts of like what this could be put next to real quick for a very quick comparison? On the nose, I don't love it. Let's just taste it. I'm trying to keep in mind price point. It's extremely like rich honey, like almost malty, I would say. In fact, if you told me this was a higher malt mash bill, I would believe you. But it's just kind of crafty, you know, and fairly light. Maybe we need to wait until they get to batch 12 to retry it. Let me move this out of the way real quick. It's High Bank, Steve. Stone Cold Steve. Lucy, okay? The cat just like slinked down the stairs and is acting weird now. High Bank Bourbon Age. Let's see here. A blended wheated mash bill. That's actually good to know. Of 4 to 6 unique bourbons. All right, here we go. Let's see. A house-made blended wheated mash bill of 5 unique barrels. Okay. Notes of malted chocolate. That's funny they say malted. Malted chocolate, freshly cut oak. That's not a note that I particularly want to hear. Freshly cut oak with sweet wheat. The sweet, that's why it's very, very sweet. They mention honey a bunch on here. Candied nuts, I could see that. That's a little bit more of like a pot still kind of note that I feel like I'm getting. And honey is mentioned again. Aged at least 6 years. It's fine. I mean, price on this might be better. Like, that might be a good thing, but it's not for me. Like, overall, it's not a profile that I gravitate towards. They use a pot column hybrid. Okay. It's not like full on. It's not full on, you know, hidden barn, but it's also got a little bit of that something going on. All right. Thank you guys for the super chats. Mike G, I got you in for 2 entries, man. Cheers, chat. What's up, Josh Fritz? Good to see you, dude. Ed said I got batch 1 last year, was underwhelmed, had high hopes. I also had high hopes. But I'll be interested to see it cast strength here, what it's like. Jeb, you look like the littlest lumberjack. It was cold down here. I was just going to go black tea, but it's cold. Thanks, dude. Terry Powers, let me get you in. So let's go on to the barrel proof now, guys, and see if this is any better. Terry Powers in for 1. He said, there's always that chance. Travis, how can I arrange for a date in your basement? Asking for a friend. Just let me know, man. If you're ever up this way. Jesse, that's true. All right. We'll come back to the nose on this. Okay. All right. So the barrel proof, man, I just think it's the distillate on this stuff. I'd be interested to know the char level and what cooperage they're using, but it's a pretty light color. So maybe they do need more oak impact. And the distillate itself feels very heady. It's like, it has almost like a... My cat is acting so weird, guys. Lucy, are you okay? It's a little like acidic and like chemical and bright, you know? Like that's kind of what I'm getting from the distillate. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's it just needs more oomph and more body to it. I know it's wheated. The nose is just like ethanol. It's like powdered sugar donut a little bit. And then like kind of a sappy green sourness. It's just a pass, man. And I want to support a little oat. There's almost like an oatmeal kind of note in there. I want to support local, but I just think maybe the profile that High Bank is going for, even the stuff they're sourcing now is pretty bright, pretty brash, pretty ethanol forward with the barrel proof. And it lacks body. I think maybe this is just the palate. This is just the profile they want. And it agrees with a lot of people, clearly, because they're winning awards and stuff. And they have a lot of local support. But I just think for me, Middle West has always been that heavier distillate that darker, richer thing. So these are passes for me, but I'd be interested to know other people's thoughts. They're going in the sample packs tonight regardless, just so people can try them for themselves. I don't have a ton of room left on this table, but I'll put these off to the side. All right, another super chat here. 2 entries. And I gotcha, appreciate it. The New Holland of Ohio. No, because this isn't this is not as New Holland, even though I don't love the profile, has a lot more depth to the whiskey than this. Chris Ardrey, thank you, man. And for 2 entries, appreciate it. Do you have the Garyana Barst? Yeah, there's one on the way. I thought it was going to get here today. Maybe it's getting here tomorrow. Yeah, but I have that on the way, and I have the new Old Forester 117 coming as well. We're going to go, by the way, guys, to this Angel's Envy next. Just curious to see if I have the same reaction to this that I had to the 375 half bottle, which came out previously and probably is not from the same distillation season as this. They're bottled in bond, so I would think there's a little difference between them because of the difference in release dates. Muddy Mud 31. That's a cool screen name. Muddy Mud 31 in for 2. Appreciate it. Cat trying to get out while it can. Can't pick it up my picks this weekend. I can't wait. Cheers, bro. Where are you? Are you talking about like the Drums and Drams picks? And if so, where are you picking them up? Guys, I'm caught up on chat. Awesome. Jeremy sold my high bank. Is Cam going to review the Knob Creek Blenders edition? I did that on last week's stream. It's a thumbs up for me for sure, especially at the price point. Okay, on to Angel's Envy. We don't need to, belabor the point with this one. Yep. And let's see if there's anything interesting here. Okay. Listen, just like last time I had this with the 375, I like the nose on it a lot. It's like gentle fruit syrup or something, It's summer fruit. It's almost like apples and pears and peaches. All sorts of these light fruit notes. But so pleasant, and the proof works so well. It's like balanced on the nose. You could just smell this all day. I love the nose on this. Not dark profile, but fruit driven. It's like got some life to it even at the lower proof. That's probably because it's cask strength, so there's good concentration still, no water added. And yeah, it's not like trying to pretend to be something that it's not. I really like this. I really little extra tinge of it's not quite Cracker Jack. It's like the tiniest hint of like a spicy nuttiness in here. And also something similar to James E. Pepper decanters, which is like a almost coffee note on the finish, where you get a little bitter sweetness, and it's like maybe like a malted chocolate. I know I just said that note on the high bank. That was their note. But almost a little like Whoppers thing on the finish of this. What is the price on that? I just bought this one today. OHLQ, Angel's Envy, bottled in bond. $60. Is it going to stand up to a Henry McKenna at $60 also, which carries a 10-year age statement? I don't know. That depends on your profile preference, but I've had a ton of dud McKennas in the last 4 years. I really like this as an option. So I don't know if that's a hot take or not, because I haven't really paid attention to people's thoughts on this in the full bottle size. Favorite Angel's Envy by a lot, I think, except for, excuse me, I just ate a bunch of tacos. Except for the Sauterne finished rye cask strength they did like 2 years ago. That was maybe my favorite Angel's Envy. You guys are funny with the super chats. Oh, Russ orders for you. Okay, nice, man. You have to tell him I said hey. Irving Larry, 1985. And for one, when is the last time you camped out or woke up super early for a bottle? Man, this is going to make me sound like a tool bag. But 2021 probably. Because I just don't do it anymore. It's the one benefit of having the channel, having the Patreon, is I use that money. Now, would it be nice to just save that money overall and not buy secondary? It would be great. But I don't have the patience to go camp out. And in Ohio, with our state-run system, it's just really not beneficial. If I was in Kentucky, I would go camp out a lot more probably, especially for big bottles like the Heaven Hill 22, which I can't wait to taste again tonight. But it's just not practical for me. If I was doing it, though, I'd probably do it like once a quarter, you know? I wouldn't be doing it all the time. And Sarah would kill me also. Have you tried new Sazerac Rye Foolproof? Yes, really, really like it, especially for the price. And in some ways, I like it better than last year's Thomas Handy. Not in every way, but in most ways. Joe also shocked about how he liked the AE bottled in bond. Justin said it's their best product. Brandon Pounder's just justice for the cat. I got you in for 2, bro. Thank you. Did you grab the Angel's Envy? Yeah, it was at Arena today, Joe. Burnt brown sugar, I could see that. My last McKenna was horrible. Yeah, McKenna's just not doing a great job right now. Cam waking up early. When's the last time you woke up early? Cam is too loaded to camp out. Yeah, that is not the truth. That is not the truth, dude. It's called misallocation of money. I did not try the tequila finish, Mike. Angel's Envy. Not worth $275, but delicious. I would imagine it would be good, but I think I remember the junkies getting upset about the price point, too. Dude, see, 15 hours for Heaven Hill 22? I'd rather pay the secondary on that. 15 hours sounds... I'm not a patient person, so I could do like 2 hours in line, and that's probably it. I think that's the most I've ever done is 2 hours. All right, Angel's Envy off to the side. Cool. Where are we going next? Let's do this. Let's do the Woodford next. Has anybody tried this? I don't know anything about it. Sweet Oak Bourbon Woodford. I avoid these things like the plague now. The batch proofs, okay. I'll try those. Like every other year I try the batch proof. I never tried the one from last year, I don't think. Or if I did, it was in passing. As Woodford goes, the color is great. But the prices on these things are crazy. None of them ever really hit. I pretty much know I'm throwing my money away on this unless it's a total shock. Woodford Sweet Oak. Let's see what this is. I don't want to see the review. I just want to see. No age statement. I paid $180 for this today. I hate my life. Is there any other info, like what the Sweet Oak thing actually means? Okay, Chinkapin Oak. Is it finished or just totally aged in it? I like this nose, actually. Okay. All right. I'm not sure if this was finished or fully aged in Chinkapin Oak. Bourbon Politico says non-age stated in today's market is basically unacceptable. I think that's right. I mean, we have so much available stock now at these legacy distilleries. There's no reason they can't put an age statement unless they're trying to hide something, which most of them are, if they're not doing it because maybe they want the freedom to be able to do whatever they need with the blend. I think that's a load of crap most of the time. And judging by the slide that Stag Jr. has taken recently, it's my firm belief that the age on Stag Jr. has gone down. I don't see any other way around it unless they've just started using worse barrels in the last couple years for that release. Like, you know, kiln-dried shit wood or whatever they're doing. It's either that or it's just younger whiskey. Because even the Junkies video today, when they were doing the Stag blind and they talked about the couple that were corn forward, like had corn on the finish and you could taste the grain, that's how almost every recent Stag has been. Even Everybody Loves 25D. I don't understand. I mean, it's better than a lot of the stuff they put out recently. I think on all these recent releases, though, you can still taste corn grain. So you're right. There's really no excuse. Color of this whiskey, if I had to guess, I would say it was finished in Chinkapin oak. But this just says aged in Chinkapin oak on the front. So let's. There is a hang tag. Hang on. Yeah, I don't know. They're not clear about it. So let's assume it's all Chinkapin oak. Listen, this does smell kind of, Woodfordy, pot stilly, a little dirt note in here, a little like farm kind of note. But it also smells like dark chocolate and cola. And I really like those things. And it doesn't smell like super forced oak on it. And it's a great blend of like that rich chocolate sweetness, bitter sweetness, but then like a good bit of bitterness from like kind of the cola spice and the barrel spice. Almost in the realm of like clove and coffee. We're almost there. Smells good. All right. I hope 110 proof. I hope this thing drinks well. It's silky. And then it goes, ooh. It goes like sour and like well, that's not very sweet. It's not very sweet on the palate. I think when they call this sweet oak, maybe they're saying the oak is like sick. Like it's sweet, dude, I don't think they mean that it actually tastes sweet. Because it's very spicy and very sour. And drying. I mean, there's a certain audience for this. I'm not going to lie. There are going to be a lot of people that like this profile. It also has a little bit of that like weed brownie note in here. So there's like stuff I like about it, but and the nose is the best part, far and away. The finish is probably the worst part. So I think it gets worse as it goes. Start at nose, solid, palate, you're like, what the? And then finishes, nope, I don't want more of this. All right, yeah, you lost me. Man, that had potential. Of all the like crazy Woodford things they do in this bottle, this one probably had the most potential for me, and it just does not deliver on the palate. So, if it was $100, I'd tell people that if you like crazy French oaked stuff that gets into like bitter territory that can have like too many tannins, too much sourness, I would say like this is for you. Not at 180, not even close at 180, but at $100, I'd say yeah. Even for the people that love this profile at 180, I think it's a stretch, and I just think it's not well constructed. You got a great profile on the nose, and then everything else somehow is terrible. So, what the hell? It's weird. Yeah, I said weed brownie. It's got a little bit of that, like, marijuana. Just, you know how it smells and tastes, But the one thing about Cam is you never know what he thinks about a drink with his facial expressions. That's hilarious. Found a few bottles of Stag 22A for 100 each. That is the best, in my opinion, probably the best recent batch. It did get beaten a blind for me, but I feel like every Stag blind I do not stand by the results of. Because I go back and do it again, and I'm like, I'll do a lot of blinds that have the same result time and time again. My Stag blinds are not replicable for me. I don't think. So I don't trust myself on Stag blinds. K-Hopper 20, second time tuning in, having fun matching pours with what I have from these distilleries. Well, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Yeah, well, let me know what you're sipping if you are sipping along with the same distillery. Slad says, it's 3 to 6 months seasoned wood, not even hitting a year. Okay, that tracks. The only thing I'll buy Woodford is double oak picks or the chocolate redux. Yeah, chocolate redux would be more divisive, but like double oak picks, that's the only place to put your money with Woodford anymore. Frankie, I did see the double there too, the second release, but there's no way they're gonna get me on that again. No way. Thoughts on the Brown-Forman Pernod Ricard merger talks? I don't have any thoughts on it. It just broke today. I haven't even read any of the articles. I saw the headlines. Brown-Forman has seemingly been struggling. I don't know if Pernod Ricard has as well. Do I think the unholy alliance of the people that run Rabbit Hole and Jefferson's now merging with the people that run this brand, Woodford, is a great idea? No. I think you're going to get a lot more turds on the market, but whatever. Oh, Marty, bro, thank you for the super chat. All right, let me get you in here. Whisky Nosing for one. In for the Blanton sale, that's funny. Camping's only worth it if you're with the homies. That makes sense. How much did you snag the Heaven Hill 22 for? I got two of them. One I got at $1,050. One I got at $700. And I bought two just in case the price skyrocketed. I was worried about it. I didn't know because the market will dip and then it will go back up. And so I got two at which were the lowest prices for their respective time periods in a 24-hour time frame. So whatever. I think it's undrinkable, not very sweet. Okay. Joe said 5 for the jukebox. Get the Muzak going. It is going. It's just probably really low. But I'll take your money anyways, Joe. Joe was supposed to be here tonight, guys, but what are you going to do? All right, I just raised the volume a little bit. Okay. Why do you think there were so many Chinkapin and Oak releases at a time? Bomb Burgers, Heaven Hill. Maybe there was a barrel shortage at the time and people were experimenting with putting things in different stuff. That could have been it, or maybe it was just maybe people talk behind the scenes. I don't know. Maybe there was a cooperage that decided to suddenly make a bunch of Chinkapin Oak and people bought it. I guess there's any number of possibilities. Jane, what's up, man? Woodford always tastes sour to me. I guess me too to some extent. This is getting way worse with air on the nose. It was much better straight out of the bottle. Someone said earlier it tasted like gummy worms. I agree. It's smelling like a sour candy now. It's losing a lot of that cola. Moving on. Moving on. Let's do this next. No, let's do Jack next. We're gonna go through the Jack. We'll do the cigar blend in just a bit. We got time. We're only 37 minutes in. We've got a ton of time. So I'm probably gonna do this blind tonight, just so you know. And if you have any comparisons you want to see as we go through a lot of this stuff, just let me know. I have some planned ones, but I'm open to getting after it a little bit because we are doing so well. The thing is, Ed, I love Chinkapin Oak. Like, if it's done well. You know, the best Chinkapin Oak I had, there were 2 of those Heaven Hill Select stock releases. And someone who used to tune into the channel, who I'm friends with on Facebook still, Sam, she sent me these samples. I mean, this must have been 4 years ago. And I held on to them for a long time. I drank half of them and I was always like, man, these are good. I want to keep savoring them. There was a Heaven Hill Select stock rye and bourbon. And I think the rye was 8 years old Chinkapin Oak, and I think the bourbon was 10 years old Chinkapin Oak. And if I recall, the rye was like out of this world good. And she was on a little Chinkapin Oak kick. She sent me also some scotches that were finished in it too. And I thought it was great, but those were really well done. And I think if you overcook things or, you know, like this Woodford, the color is absurd, but it's too extracted and just weird and it's not working. So I think if it's done well, it can be pretty great. Joe says that was cold. Copper Wolf, what's up, dude? In for 2, gotcha. Says, cheers, everyone. Been a while. Yeah, good to see your name popping up. Let's see. Hopefully the merger doesn't go forward. It'll affect Jack Daniels, and they've been the best. See, that's the other interesting part about it. It's like, yes, Brown-Forman maybe overall hasn't been doing as well. How does that split up, though? because wouldn't Jack Daniels just be totally carrying the entire company? I know there's a lot more to Brown-Forman than just Jack. I mean, hell, they have my favorite Scotch distillery, or former favorite, because I can't judge it because I haven't had any of their recent releases, but Glendronach. We have the verdict on the new EC15 for us soon tomorrow. It gets here tomorrow, so I'll mention in the Patreon to everybody what that's like. I'll probably take a sip of it. We'll see. I have a concert tomorrow night, and I'm stressed about this concert. So if I'm feeling up for it, I'll smell it and taste it like one sip before the concert tomorrow night. Yes, last stream, Altschüler 19 year. I've got 2 more of these upstairs. They are... This one in particular, I think, is spectacular. It's a little, like, the more it's opening up, it's thinning out on the palate a little bit, which I've experienced actually with one of their 18 years previously. Like, with some airtime, it'll thin out. I don't know if it's the French oak or what's going on. It relaxes, but the profile, I think, is great. It is expensive whiskey, but, like, at least that higher cost is going to the producer than a flipper, you know? So... Woodford sometimes makes me think of lowland Scotch funkiness. I could see that. Lowland is probably my least experienced Scotch region, but I could see that. Hobo Gladiator in for 2 says sipping on Mugen. I don't know how to say that. Mugen Spirit. Kuko 9-year sourced Safai. Oh, it's Safai. Nice. In twice of the samples. I got you in. Appreciate it. Yeah, Safai. Great stuff. Great barrels. Joe says, am I the only one that can't hear the background music? I can hear it. I think you should be able to hear it. I am running the audio a little... No, but it's coming from the browser. It should be pumping from the browser directly into the stream. Not like coming from an external source through my internal VB cable, you know, internal patching or whatever you want to call it. We will do the Jack 14 comparisons. Heaven Hill Grain to Glass Chinkapins are great, says Ed. Yeah, man. We're thinking 12 can stay close to 14 again. Have a good night. See you, Bev. Hot take besides Jack. We're starting with the 10. We'll go in order, guys. This is batch 5 of the 10 year. 97 proof, usually. Probably still. Yep. Okay. Hot take besides Jack Daniels special releases and actual King of Kentucky. I can't think of much I buy from Brown-Forman. The profile just kind of drives me nuts. Like, there's so much acetone these days and so much marker in the King of Kentuckys. It's they're quickly losing it for me. Jesse said, Cam, it's your fault. I'm getting low on shelf space again. Going through now and finishing or dumping all the partials in my barrel. Sorry, dude. We're doing the new 10, 12, and 14, Joseph. But Cam, Brown-Forman didn't make the Glendronach you love. Billy, I know. Listen, I know. I have 3 21s and 3 18s over there from like the 2019 to 2021 era. So I'm sitting pretty on those. I almost pulled the trigger on a 30 year the other day. I was like, I want to see what it's like. But then everyone's like, well, the 40 year's better. And I'm like, I can't afford that shit. Now I'm like, I just won't buy any of it. I should just be done with it and judge it without even trying it. That's mature. That's funny. All right, tell me if you guys can hear the background music now. I just upped it by like a significant margin. But I have it low on purpose. Like, it's just for the silence, really. You don't need to hear Muzak while I'm talking. My talking's brutal enough. But I'm gonna turn it back. That's like pretty loud, it feels like. So I'll go down to 25 and we'll call it good. Cam's gaslighting us. Ed, I know you're behind on Facebook DMs, but sent you a message. Those 5 barrels, my photography were so curious what you think of the recent 5 barrels. Ed, I think they're very hit or miss, the 5 barrels. And the barrel 1 and 2 stuff was proof down, I think. At least it seemed like it. 112 was low for those. So, could have just been those. Hey, so I've been smelling on this. But generally speaking, I love the Safai profile because the Kelvin, the honey wheat, and the mash. This might be the most I've enjoyed a 10-year on the nose. So before I even go any further, I can't remember what I thought of last year. Usually with the 10s, I just say it's fine. Like it's good whiskey, you know? It's not bad for the price point. I've never had a 10 Jack Daniels that I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing, you know? Now, I remember that the early ones, which maybe I should look for, because I think there's been some flavor drift. Give me like 30 seconds to look over here. Batch 1, I feel like was chocolate covered, like a lot of chocolate and banana with some charcoal notes. If I could find that batch, I think that could be a cool comparison because the one I just smelled seemed very, very fruity. Let's see. I might not be able to find it. It's like everything else. Okay. Try again later. We'll just do a batch. We'll just do a batch 4 to 5 comparison. But I don't seem to remember any of the 10s being as fruity as the one I'm smelling right now, which I like. What I don't like about the 10s sometimes is they get a little too charcoal heavy. Oh, this might be the year for Jack 10. It's I mean, I'll show you what it reminds me of. Reminds me of this stuff. I know that's maybe not saying much because some of these are pretty not great, but no, I'm just pouring stuff. Okay. We're gonna get into the weeds now. Just a little bit of birthday bourbon as a comparison to the fruit in the new Jack 10. And this birthday bourbon was 12. Proof was 92. We're fairly close on stats. Not exactly, but there's more sweet oak on the birthday bourbon, as you would expect. Justin, don't encourage him. I feel like I'm in the restroom at a mall. I need to get new music, dude. It's bad. The same playlist for like 4 years, and they're terrible. Sam, I heard Mike Kadork was trying to get a hold of you. I heard the same thing, dude. I'm going to scroll down real quick. All right, let me taste the Jack 10. For some reason, I think this is the most memorable profile I've had on a Jack 10. I don't know if that's good or bad, though. Wow. It's like... wow. This might be the year that I'm like, Jack 10, holy shit. It's very fruity. I just think that profile sits with me better than some of the earlier ones. And I think even this one, even this batch 4, feels maybe oakier to me and leaning more into chocolate, which some people are going to like. And if I want chocolate, I'd rather have a 1924 batch 3. It's also Old Forester, slightly higher proof. Yes, it's more expensive, but I think the chocolate note in this batch 3 is pretty cool. Let me taste batch 4 real quick. I like the new 10. Wow. Dang, huh? All right, let me grab... I'm behind on a super chat or 2. I got Hobo Gladiator. 6 screen name, by the way. Old Forester 100 for the win out of the Brown Forma portfolio. Haven't had it recently. I mean, you know, value ratio on that's pretty good. Justin, thank you, man. And for 2 says, put this towards a Talisker 45 and I'll come over for you to crack it. Dude, how much you need for a Talisker 45? Is that probably what, 10 grand? Something crazy? Love the double leather and oak in a place of prominence. Yeah, dude. I got him back there. Jeremy sold his Jack 10s. Never had a 10 I didn't like. Okay. Yeah, it's just not really been for me because I always prefer the 12. I'll revisit the 10s maybe in a second. Has anybody tried? I mean, I know this just dropped. So if you watch the replay on this, please, like, if you've tried this 10, let me know what you think. I'm going to keep an eye on other people's reviews now. I haven't watched anything on people trying any of these, so I have no preconceptions this evening. How does it compare to Jack 10 Batch 1? I have that in this room somewhere, but I can't find it, man. I don't want to take too much time out of the stream looking for it. But to memory, I think Batch 1 was very much chocolate-covered bananas, and this is not that. This is like sweet. It's like berries and cream, basically. High Bank Barrel Proof Rye is really good, also very honeyed. I could see how their proclivity to go towards this like brighter, you know, spikier profile might work better with a rye. With those honey notes also kind of rounding it. I could see that, but I'm probably not going to spend much more money on High Bank stuff, to be honest. Have you had any Appalachian stuff? Yeah, I tried 2 single barrels when they first came out. I mean, there's only so many NDPs with single barrels I can chase, and because of our relationship with River Roots, like, it's tough to, you know, chase the same things from different people. All right, let's go to batch, God, look at that color. Jack 12, batch 4, 107 proof. And that is a beautiful color. Wow. The nose. Hang on. I think I like the nose on the 10 a significant amount better than I do the 12. I don't really like the nose on the 12. The 12 is it's 107, but it's very ethanol forward, and it's hiding anything that's going on here on the nose is very hidden right now. Okay. I like bourbon a lot, says let's go. Thank you. And for one, gotcha. And then Lee Wilmoth, only 50 minutes late. Sounds like me, man. Thanks for jumping in and being here. And for 4, looking forward to the Heaven Hill 22 review. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll probably do that last. Ed, that's a solid price point and solid pick, man. Oh gosh, I'm trying to keep up on super chats. Let's taste this batch 12 now. Not batch 12, 12 year. Ooh. Wow. Oh. Fuck, that is. It's 10:01. I can say the F word now. That is a great palate. The nose, no. What the hell is going on? Maybe, I mean, it'll probably get better now that I've tasted it. Kinda. It's very tight on the nose. That palate was awesome. That palate was awesome. Oh, yeah. Now we're talking. I mean, dude, last year's Jack 12 was like, I don't know, what was it on my list? The world may never know because I never put my list out. Absolute idiot. It was number 8 for me last year, Jack 12. I would have never thought a Jack product would be like that high on my list. So let's talk about the profile on that now. The main thing going on is the most fudgy, just chocolatey, fudgy profile. It's pure fudge in the best way. Let me pour some of last year's. This is fun. That's a great whiskey on the palate. I don't know. Again, I don't know what other people are saying. It's like, I have a feeling that the natural inclination this year is going to be to crap on these because the 14 year is a lower proof and people are all going to bitch about it. I totally get it. I'm probably right there with you on paper. So there's the 12. Yeah, all right. Pretty comparable color on these. Either Mash and Drum and Bourbon Kingdom have massive differences in palate preferences to you. Well, here's the thing. The media samples worry me because sometimes I don't know what Jack sends them in, but if they've been sitting in those sample bottles for a long time and they have just like plastic toppers, a lot of people use those flasks. That stuff will get tainted pretty quickly. Those plastic toppers, if they don't have the polycones in them, which a lot of media samples don't, they're just like the straight up black plastic cap. You know, I'm not blaming that necessarily, but it is a possibility. The other thing is I probably do have different preferences on Jack products than those guys because I'm not a big Jack Daniels fan. So I think a lot of the stuff that I like from Jack, and then on the other side, the stuff that I dislike from Jack especially, like I did not like Tanyard Hill. I think we kind of flip-flop on those things. And again, everybody has palate preferences, but I'm the first person to say that Jack is not my preferred profile. Except this fucking 12th year from this year. I mean, the nose, not good. I hate that the nose is so much worse than the palate. I mean, okay, it's thinning out a little bit. I've had multiple sips. But no, in the finish, it's blooming now. It just blooms into this massive fudge brownie profile. Damn. Okay, let me now put it next to, this is the 12 from last year, which I loved. The nose is much better. Much, much, much better on this year, on last year's. Yeah. Okay. Let's see if the palate kind of does the same thing. It's a different profile, like pretty significantly. It has the same effect in the finish where the mid palate drinks like 107 proof, but then the finish ramps way up. That happened on this year's, and that's now happening on last year's. I like that. I like when a finish ramps up. I think that makes for a great whiskey like drinking experience. I think this year's, again, is so much fudge brownie, and it's more one-dimensional. It's not as complex. Last year's, I'm actually getting some fruit, some dark fruit. I'm getting a little bit more of like a vanilla cream note on the top, which is great. So I get like a range of sweetness from vanilla cream to dark fruit. Does have oak, does have chocolate, but not in the same level of concentration as this year's, which, yeah, this year's more simplistic. The nose is not great. I take that into account pretty heavily, but the mid to late palate I like on this year's. But I'm gonna have to go. There's a little more acetone on last year's though. Like there's a little bit more sourness and grip on the palate on the front end. Let me taste the current one now again. This is gonna so depend on what kind of profile you want because they're so different. You're either gonna... I don't think anybody out there should say that if they compared these two batches that they're really similar. They are not really similar. And I don't think anybody should be like, if you liked last year's, you're gonna love this year. I don't think that phrase should ever be uttered because you should probably dislike one and like the other one. Looks like I'm cracking my 10-12. I didn't like JD 14 batch 1, wanting to try my batch 2. I need to take this comment off the screen. Sorry. Did I miss any super chats? Oh, all right, let me get Sam in for 4. Said Bear House 107 says Coy Hill Rye. Coy Hill Rye is 26 LE. Would love to see age-stated Jack Rise. Agreed. Ohio sucks balls. Cool, man. Let's really put a bow on that at the end. I'm excited for that Jack 10 lot to become 12s. Me too. Yeah. I don't know what it is, man. But I think having the fruit on the Jack profile helps take me away from the stuff that I don't like when it's just too charcoal heavy. I think it needs that. Yeah, like last year's Jack 10 is a little bit more complex, kind of like last year's Jack 12. I actually think both of them are more complex than this year's, but this year's each have a more distinct profile that they're leaning into, which for the 10 is this like really like berries and cream thing, and for the 12 is this chocolate bomb on the mid to late. And now it's kind of hard to judge the drinking experience of the 10 because I've gone up in proof. I'm going back down. It tastes flat to me, but it's only 97. So let's go to the 14. Please be good. Please be good. Eric, let me get you in here, man. Appreciate you. Eric C300, and for 2, would you trade a Michter's 10 bourbon up for a Jack 14? I mean, when you say trade up, you have to let me know in another comment. Not another super chat, but just another comment. Would you, how much, like, would you have to add money to it? Like, what are you thinking? Because it also depends on what you like. If, you know, if you like barrel proof stuff, then the answer is yes. But if you have to add $400, then we have to figure that out. Michael Phelps, thank you, man. I'm going to get that stuff out to you this weekend that I owe you from last live stream. Appreciate it. If you win tonight, I'll just add this stuff into the box. All right, trying to figure out this 14 on the nose. My first impression is that that the main note is I said it earlier on the Woodford, but obviously that's in a Woodford way and in kind of a forced oak way, but this is a lot more of like a natural. It's like the note has developed more naturally from the barrel. That's a cola note. Like this really has a Coca-Cola thing. I think that's the primary note that I get on this one. And I don't know, you know what? It's less like Coca-Cola. This is more of like a Dr. Pepper thing on this Jack 14. And it's got like a pepperiness. It's almost a black pepper on the nose, which at the lower proof, 117.6. Yeah, it's got like a point to it on the nose with that spice. So not a lot of sweet oak here. Not a lot of the, like, I feel like with batch, let me think about this. I feel like batch 1 maybe had a little bit more sweetness to it. Let me taste it. I mean, it is good. I think we can be picky, and I am picky, but that's good. Am I just soft today? Like, am I? Because it sounded like, based on what other people are saying about, you know, what Jason and Bourbon Kingdom are saying, that maybe that those reviews were negative. I mean, the finish on the 14 is kind of short. That's my one knock as I get to the end of it. I kind of like all of these. I mean, the 12 is maybe my least favorite, which last year was my most favorite. And I think this year I like that one aspect of the drinking experience, mid to late, and you get the chocolate bomb and the ramping on the finish. But then everything else I don't love. The 10 is just like more my profile, and then this 14 is like delicious. But I think maybe I'm getting soft. The 14 comparison, which we're gonna do, feels unfair because of the proof, you know? Where is... Okay. All right. Like, here's the deal. I can definitely... Running low on this one. I can definitely micromanage and kind of complain about this 14. And I will. But just like that first impression, overall experience, very positive. However, the nose on that suffered too. So I think for the 12 and the 14, I'm not loving the noses on them this year. The 14 is a better overall palate than the 12, though. It right away, the 14's good. The 12 takes a second to get there. Ed getting 2 more Predictum bottles next weekend. So I'll get you Ed, are you talking to me about being back in town? Because I've had Predictum. I had that bottle and sold it. All right. Daughter turned 4 today, cracking a GTS 22. Nice. It goes quick. I know. I'm about to be in it, man. Well, that's awesome. Happy birthday to your daughter. And hope you enjoy the GTS. That's a bruiser of a batch there at 22. Joe and Sam are legends. Why? What's going on? I personally like when there's batch variation amongst different years. I do too. I mean, to a point. Like, you don't want one of them to be kind of just objectively bad. But if the profiles are different, yeah, it's fun. Cam, did you like Jack 12 batch 2? Man, I got to keep these straight. I don't think I loved 12 batch 2, if I remember. I think that was maybe my least favorite of them. The Jack stuff is starting to run together. We're getting to that point where we have so many releases between them, and they all have different numbers. 5, 4, and 2 this year. It's like... Okay, what is your 1924 batch 3? The short and sweet of it is that I like it. Very brownie batter kind of profile on it. Okay, so let's do this 14 comparison now. I think the other thing is, with this Jack stuff, a lot of us really like Jack because the proof points get crazy. And once the proof points get crazy, yes, some of them are too hot, but also some of them are not too hot, and they're flavor bombs. So I think that's like a defining factor of Jack, and then we think about the value of getting that much flavor and that much proof for such a low price, that it's kind of easy to miss the forest for the trees and realize that, like, for me, I think this 14 is really good whiskey this year, even though it's a lower proof. Let me check something real quick on my camera. Just want to make sure. All right. My battery's been looking weird. It's like perpetually at 20%. I have it plugged into the wall, but just wanted to make sure it wasn't going to die on me. Andy, I might be out of order getting these super chats, but I'll get you in here. Dude, I literally drank Kim Crawford tonight at the Symphony event we were doing. I was like, can I get a Sauvignon Blanc? And they pulled out Kim Crawford. I'm like, that's my favorite. I'm a simple man. Or simple large boy. Alright. I can't keep up with chat, guys. I'm doing my best. Where's the frother? It is directly behind me on the shelf. Okay. Here's the thing about last year's Jack 14. It has that King of Kentucky effect. Yes, there is some Sharpie, there is some acetone. And that came out to me, that stood out to me on the blind, the end of the year blind for 2025. But there's also that heavy, like molasses vanilla combo that you get from a single barrel of King of Kentucky that's really good. And that's on last year's 14. Is it sharper? Yes, the proof is higher. So then this year's 14, you know, is it barrel proof? It is barrel proof. Okay. It's just a different animal. I don't like the comparison on these side by side because it's hard to do it with the proof being so different. This nose smells like more maple, like maple syrup. Still a little bit of the molasses, but not in the same like proofed up high intensity way that you get it on last year's. And then, yeah, that cola that I talked about. The nose on this year's 14 is getting way better with air. So I'm going to take my first impression of the nose and like put an asterisk next to it. I still think the 12 on the nose is not very good, but I think this 14 has gotten better with air. I really like this 14. But it drinks like a 115 proof product. It does not drink like last year's. So, yes, completely different drinking experience. The finish on this is a problem. It does end even earlier than it should for the lower proof. I would be surprised if other people didn't say that also. But the flavors are great. So, it's an okay year for the Jacks. It's an okay year. It's not the best though. Except for this 10 maybe. I don't know why I like this 10 so much. I got to keep spending some time with that 10 and figure out what's hitting me just right. It is very different. There might even be more banana on it in a weird way. Is the Jack 14 what you'd want from birthday bourbon? Is it storming? Oh, tornado watch. Cool. All right. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So some things might happen. Walter was a sleeper. People are talking about barrel picks in here now. All right, guys. Any like last questions on these Jacks before we leave them and move on to greener pastures? Maybe. I don't actually know. Huh. I don't know if it's just me like wigging myself out about my first impressions on these, but I feel like these need air. I don't know what, like, I don't know why I'm thinking that, but it seems to me maybe they're changing. Like the 14 I said changed a lot with air on the nose. I think these need air. I think I need to spend some time with them. These are not as simple as they seem. I'm going to taste the 12 one more time. It's tough going down in proof on these now, you know. So the Jack's a buy or pass. It depends what price you're talking about. I mean, at SRP, they're always all buys for me. The weak link this year, it might be the 12, man. And then, so what is the SRP on the Jack 12? Is it like 120 maybe? Jack 12 SRP 95. I mean, it's hard to not just buy. You buy that at SRP. Now secondary, if secondary is 250, I don't think that's a 250 bottle. The 10 usually doesn't really have a lot of secondary. I'd pay SRP for that 10. Probably nothing above it. The 12 is getting worse. It had that cool ramp, but I can't base my entire impression of that whiskey on that one aspect when the nose is not very good. I think I need to spend more time with these, but all are a buy at SRP. The 12, I wouldn't really go above it. The 10, you know, $100. I'd probably buy the 10 at $100. And then the 14, I'd probably pay. I wouldn't pay secondary for this 14. I wouldn't pay secondary for last year's 14 either. That's like $650. I mean, realistically, this is not the price, and I know it's never going to be the price unless enough bad reviews come out about it from people that have much bigger followings. I think the 14 is like a $200 whiskey. $250. I think it's like in that price range for me. And then the collector and me and the rarity and all the secondary crap, $300, $350. This is not a $600 bottle of whiskey. It's not $500. I don't know. I need to just do one more tasting of these on my own time and figure this out. Do you get any antique notes on the 14? Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe. It's not the first thing I thought of. The first thing I thought of was cola, but I'm also moving up in proof and up in age, so it's going to naturally feel more oaky. Jason said more on what? Rob, what exactly are you talking about? I need to go watch Jason's video now. If a tornado hits, does your homeowner insurance cover all the bourbon? No, I don't think so. I think I need to figure that out. Terry said, stay safe. I'm going to get some Venmo Super Chats here too, guys, by the way. I know I haven't touched those yet, but only hour and 15. We're doing good. Shouldn't be a crazy long stream tonight, which I'm appreciative of. Frankie, let me get you in here, says welfare check on Lucy. With the storm, I don't know. If she's still down here, she's definitely hiding in a corner somewhere. Froth the 12, see if the nose improves. Here, let me throw a little more in the glass. In fact, now that they've sat out, let me throw a little bit more in each glass. I'm being reckless now. I'm just going to end up wasting even more whiskey tonight at the end. But that's okay. It's for science. All right. So now we've got like slightly aerated whiskey now topped off with fresh out of the bottle whiskey. That's probably a good combo. Brett. Oh, sorry, man. I missed your message. What should I crack first, the 11 or the 9? What did people in the chat say that were in the that are in the Discord? Oh, no one really mentioned anything, dude. Brett's talking about barrel picks that just are being delivered to people. Brett, I would honestly crack the 11 first because I think it's sweeter. It's basically the same proof, but it's your call. You might just go up in age, but the 9 is definitely a heavier profile. Oh, Alves, what's up, man? Oh, he sent me a text. I thought Ryan was going to say something about the stream, but he texted me something that I don't want to talk about. Okay. Wow. All right. Cam is being agreeable tonight on a sample. I think maybe you're Jack Daniels, man. All right. Curtis, let me get you in here looking sharp tonight. Thanks, man. This was the outfit of the day. It's the only flannel I own anymore, so people see it a whole lot, unfortunately. Froth it up. People are saying open the 9 first. Okay. Guys, appreciate the super chats, and I appreciate you all not going crazy. And like, I love it. Obviously, it's great when people give big super chats, but for the sample pack tonight of these pours, don't go crazy. Keep it reasonable. All right, last time through these real quick, just a one-off, and then we're gonna get to the Magnus. Then we'll get to the Heaven Hill 22. Let me ask you guys that are hanging out tonight. I know people that are here just for Heaven Hill 22. If I delay that, they're going to get pissed. I'm less concerned with that, honestly. You could always watch the replay. For the people hanging out tonight, though, if I do a blind flight in here, where do you want to see it? Do you want to just get to Heaven Hill 22 and then do the blind at the end? Or do you want to, like, go from Jack's to a blind and then finish with Magnus, Heaven Hill? Like, what do you think? All right, back to 10 real quick. And I'm just going to rapid fire these. So I'm going to put them in front of me so it's easier to be quick. 10, 12, 14. That 12 nose is not it. Why is that 10? Why is the fruit on 10? Hitting right for me. And the other, you know what else it is about the 10 that I like so much? It's that it's more concentrated, even than last year's 10. Yeah. I 100% stand by the 10. I like it a lot. It's the most surprising one of the bunch. Jacob said something about, is that blendery bottle? No, nothing's blendery, Jacob. What are you talking about? River Roots? I have one blendery behind me, right there. But that's like turkey tallow. That's a really low-proof buff turkey. But the River Roots, I'm talking about these, which are the barrel picks we did that are like 50 and 30 bottle shorties. The 30 bottles down here. Brett said he cracked the 11. All right, Brett, let me know what you think. That's like a very sweet and just kind of different Barton profile. But I know you love your Kelvin. So, yeah, 10, great. My least favorite part of probably all of these is the nose on the 12. It stands out the most as being just not up to snuff. Yeah, the 12 is the weak link. Jacob, yeah, I do have 375s behind me. One is like a 25-year light whiskey, and one is a blend that I made there with Jeb. All right, buy the JDs in reverse order. I think 10. It's a toss-up between 10 and 14 for me. Which one has improved the most? For me, the 10. That gets the most improved award. The 14 is very good, and the 12 is my last place, even though the finish is great. All right, let's move on. Let me get some water in me and check what people want to do next. Yeah, okay. I enjoyed having till 22 for the SRP. Been telling people for years they're sleeping on the 10s. Lower proof, lower age gets overlooked, but I think it's the sweet spot. Just this year for me, but I can understand why people find things to appreciate in it year in and year out. Excuse me. Jesse really likes the 11-year Elkwood. That and Regicide might be my favorite Barton Drums and Drams picks for very different reasons. I'm glad you like it, Jesse. Yeah, I felt like maybe that 11 would be a little divisive. And for me, it's not my 100% preferred Barton profile. I like when they go full cola mode, full Dr. Pepper. But that one was different, and I felt like the concentration was good. And because it was a short barrel, it was going to be pretty limited. And so I think the people that really wanted to buy that bottle were the ones that bought that bottle. Blind first. Some people want 22. We'll do a blind first, though. Let's just do the blind. We'll do it real quick. And these samples should not be tainted. They should not be tainted. Man, okay, more super chats coming in. All right, this is gonna be tough. We might have to cut the super chats early tonight because it's tough to keep track of them. Joe, I need you, my liege. Mike Caduce. Mike Kading Dong is here. I got you in for one, dude. Said beer money for you. Thank you. I'm going to have one tomorrow night. At the best German beer place in Columbus, Gamut Beer Garden. Have you picked any full cola Dr. Pepper Barton or can recommend where to get that? I mean, dude, some of the Bradshaw barrels might have that, but they were really hot, those Bradshaws. The one that we picked, dude, I've got it right here. I thought I had it right here. Hang on. I'm just losing samples left and right. It should have been... I might have put it back on the shelf here. Okay, am I stupid? And don't answer that. Yeah, it's literally in front of my face. You know, it's not in front of my face. King of Kentucky Batch 1. This is what I have left of my Bradshaw sample. This is honestly closer to the old Barton profile of like the first Buckners and like Lucky 7. This, you know what this is like? It's like, I've said this before to people in DMs. The Bradshaw sample that we have coming is closer to the Lucky 7 14 years, the high proof 14s. So it does get close to that, but I think the stuff from 2020, the Barton high proof from back then was just different, and it had so much more of that Dr. Pepper to it. Cam in a quick blind. Joe, we're going to Gamut tomorrow. We're going after the concert, yeah. But we're going with the guest artist from the orchestra because there's a percussion quartet here soloing with us. Cam, does your wife drink whiskey? Yeah, she loves it, but she's pregnant right now, so she's chugging it. No, I'm kidding. She's chugging the whiskey. She's chugging Tylenol and whiskey. It's a joke. Did you try Bradshaw Barrel 22? I don't know. I have a picture on my phone. I think I had 6 or 7 of them when I was there. All right, let's get into this blind. I have so much crap on the table now. I need 5 glasses. Hey, there's 213 people here tonight, and earlier there was like 270 or something. So thank you for being here. I know people are like, get to the Heaven Hill 22. I get it. People are going to go in Discord and complain that the streams are too long. And oh my God, this, super chat this. I see all the things that people say, and it cracks me up. But it's a marathon, not a sprint. It's fun. It's fun to hang out. It's fun to drink. I know it's not everybody's thing to hang out with people for 3 hours or 2 hours straight, whatever it is. And that's totally okay. It probably should be slightly unnatural to watch the whole stream in one sitting, or even to finish it. It's like, I get it. I'm a content consumer as well. We have nothing better to do, says Chris. Thank you, Chris. Although I'm sure you have better things to do. And for one, I got you, man. Get to the whiskey, geez. There we go. There's one. There's one. There's one. All right, let's pour these blinds out. So this is what we were going to do last week. A, B, C, D, E, 5 samples. I'm guessing 6 things about them. Zach didn't give me instructions, so I'm just doing what I normally would do, which is try to make guesses as to what the whiskey is, and then rank them in my preferred order of profile. And then you'll know along the way. I'll show you these note cards that I've got. So when I flip this up, you'll see an answer, and I'll turn my head. And for those of you who have never been here before, if it says Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, please don't, number 1, just spoil it in the chat. That would ruin the whole point. And then number 2, don't start talking about Heaven Hill if I show you Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Just keep on, talking about other things and talk to me, but not about what I'm showing you. Ruins the fun. So yeah, let's see what we got here. Coat all the glasses, spill whiskey on the table, no big deal. Cam, you do you, and that's why we're here. Thanks, man. Hey, does anybody else have this issue with PayPal? When you open the app, it needs to like do the face recognition, like Face ID, like 4 times in a row, and it just keeps like cycling back to that screen. Something I've noticed on PayPal is driving me crazy. Where can I find those glasses? I don't think Austin's here to post the link, but we have the Drums and Drams branded Stolzle glasses. It might be in the description. It also might not. If it's not, I'm sorry. If someone has the link that's a mod, could you post it? I don't know that we even have any mods in here. I mean, maybe Travis is in here, but I don't know if he has that link. You can tell I'm organized. If I've missed your super chat in the actual stream, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to be just doing Venmos now. Update the app. The camera keeps reloading because it doesn't recognize your face. Whiskey pop. Depends how many chins. Don, I got a couple extra these days, dude. Fuck. Dropping things. All right, let's get back to this. I had this page pulled up in the... Yeah, there we go. From last week. I'll just rewrite the date. It's 3/26/26, ABCDE. All right, guys. I don't have the link. I suck. No, you don't suck, Travis. I suck. Are all the river roots behind you your picks? Yes, this entire thing is my shelf of picks, and then it bleeds over into the shelf that you can't see off screen. So I think we've probably done like 80 or 90 barrels at this point. From river roots, I don't know if it's like 30 or 40 barrels, something like that. All right, here's what's in glass A. This is glass A. I'll put this down. Glass A smells crazy. It's very bright. It's kind of herbaceous. You know, honestly, like pretty good concentration. Floral. It's like massively floral on the nose for me. What else is in here? There's a, oh man, like a orange tea, I guess. So herbal, orange tea, all the things I'm saying remind me of a rye whiskey, but this is like a weird rye, if it is one. All right. Let me write some of that down. Rye, herbal, orange tea. It's actually, you know what? It's less herbal. It's just more just straight up floral. I feel like I'm smelling flowers right now. Almost a little bit of that drier sheet effect on this. If you guys ever get that in whiskey. Sometimes I get that on Willet Ryes. There's like a weird thing in this. I don't know what it is. Don't know that I like it that much. Huh. Google, it won't let me super chat the link. Yeah, it might get weird about that. Mod me. How do I gotta mod people not in StreamYard. I gotta do it like... Here, let me see if I can do it. Team Vanilla. Add as moderator. Okay, I'm gonna do standard moderator. Let me know if that's good enough. Joe. Oh, Joe, yeah. Joe's definitely gonna be a mod. Dude, Adam got here. Get out of here, dude. No one wants you here, Adam. Just kidding, I like you. You're my friend. All right, Joe, you're a mod. Enjoy the power. So yeah, like I was saying earlier about these samples. So Zach sent me these before, and this is the previous same sample as A, I think. One of these changed. I don't know if it's A. Oh, yeah, that's definitely sample taint. So there is definitely a massive difference between these samples. But this new one, this new sample, which I don't think is tainted, still has a weirdness about it that I don't know about. It's feeling less rye now and more just like a strange bourbon. I don't know if it's a dusty or like there's something really weird about Glass A that I don't understand. So I'll come back to that. Let's go to Glass B now. Let me show you guys what's in Glass B. All right, here you go. This is B here. If you need me to show you this again, you just let me know. If it doesn't focus or whatever. So I'll put this down now. That was B. Okay. Should mod Guy? I would happily mod Guy. If Guy wants to. There's like literally no pressure. Nose on B is great. This is like really dark fruit and tobacco. Yeah. B is up my alley. Dark fruit, tobacco, almost like there's a Barton thing about it, but not with any of the banana notes or anything like that. It's mostly with that like, yeah, with the darkness about this. Reminds me of like a darker Barton profile, but I don't know. Yeah, Guy, I'll make Guy a mod, but like if he's on his phone, there's probably nothing he can do. But Guy should be a mod regardless. Now we're gonna have let's make 50 people mods. Let's just caution to the wind. No, Dustin, you're not a mod ever. So help me God. All right, let's drink Glass B. Ooh, man. Glass B. I feel like that has to be Barton. That's very good. Oh, jeez. There's like that furniture polish wood varnish oak that I get on some Barton stuff here. So dark fruit tobacco was the first impression. Almost like burnt, like melted caramel or something, like melted caramel drizzle. And then palate, you get a lot of oak. Almost kind of like a Jack product, actually. Glass B. Like a good Jack. It's either like good Jack or like somewhat off-profile Barton. Proof on this? I mean, listen, this is old. This is definitely old. It's got a good proof. I think it's drinking under. I mean, I think it's in the 120s, and I'll come back and make a more solid guess on that. The age on this feels high. I gotta stop thinking about bottles in my head. You know, when you do blinds like this, just think about stats. One last reminder of what Glass B is for you guys before we move on to C. This is very good whiskey. Glass B is definitely my favorite over Glass A. Let's put this down. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's go on to C now. Get some water. Mods cannot compete for prizes. That is not a rule. It's raining mods. Joe, I sent an important message. Joe's timing people out. I love this. Wreak havoc, Joe. Do it. Okay, Glass C. Let me show you guys what's in Glass C while I nose it. Okay, this one Smells younger and grainier. At least on first impression. Yeah, hotter, younger, grainier. I feel like I can smell the corn. I'm getting just like a kind of like a prickly, grainy corn note in that one. By the way, Cam, I just got 2 6-bottle boxes from the last drop packed like absolute shit. That's Adam, please dude, shoot me a text or a DM and remind me about that, because I'll talk to Ryan about it. Because I feel like my boxes recently have also been in not great shape from BO. I feel like a lot of the inflatables have been popped, you know, or like half deflated or whatever, and there wasn't enough packing in there. Oh wow, mine was packed bad too, says Brett. Maybe we need to. I'll definitely message Ryan about that. All right, let's keep it going. Glass C. Excuse me. Good Lord. Bag's half full, not at all full of nuts. Yeah, we gotta figure this out then. All right, this whiskey's high proof. Glass C is high proof. It's younger. My guess is like 7 to 8 years old. My guess is in like the one. There's a nice like pear note here. It's like pear and powdered sugar on the palate. Proof, I don't know if it's in the 130s. I think it's like 128. I don't know why I'm hung up on the number 128, so I'm gonna write that down. Still, Glass B is my favorite by a mile. That's got to be Barton. Glass B really smells like Barton now. Let's go to Glass D. All right, here's Glass D. Let me smell it. Oh, the color on that, huh? All right, Glass D. Oh, what is going on here? This smells kind of. This smells like butterscotch. Another reminder, please, no spoilers in the chat. Put that down. This is like pure butterscotch on the nose. I wish BO would change the packing peanuts to those other type that aren't super full of static. I agree, Guy. I really agree. Oh, the nose on this. Oh, the nose on this is... Smells like old National Distillers. I'm going to say ND era butterscotch. Smells low proof. Or lower proof. Kind of reminds me of Glass A in a weird way. And I thought Glass A was like really floral. Now I come back to it and I don't know. I have some questions for Zach at the end of this flight. Some serious questions. Never sent Tim any free samples? Oh no, Tim is on my spreadsheet. Tim's getting free freaking samples, dude. So I haven't shipped anything since last week because I've been packing other stuff upstairs. I've been splitting all these bottles into half bottles and it's a whole thing. No, Tim is on the list. I have Tim's address. He's getting samples. Wow. I mean, this has to be a Dusty. If Glass D is not a Dusty, I would be so shocked. I love this. So B is still my favorite. D is second for sure. I'm going to throw something out there, and please, guys, don't think that I'm crazy. Please. I feel like Glass A and Glass D are related in some weird way, whether they're maybe like both Dusties or something. And I think there's an off note on Glass A that's pretty strong. Now, it's not nearly as strong as the tainted sample note on Glass A from the last flight that Zach sent me, which I think is probably the same whiskey. It is, because Sarah reused that card, so that's the same one. That one is clearly sample tainted. This one still has a little bit of that note, though, which makes me think maybe it's a Dusty that had like a plastic top on it or something that got weird over time. Because it tastes like D, which is definitely, to me, feels like a Dusty. Could be an Old Fitz also. It kind of has like an Old Fitz 17 butterscotch. But not the oak. Regardless, my mind's now racing around like, what if it's a Dusty that had a weird enclosure that still got a little bit of weird taint over the years, but it's not as tainted as the last version in that same... I don't know, but I get an off note on Glass A that I can't shake. I want to like it, but at the front end, I get an off note, and then it gets like really sweet. And I think that off note that I was talking about is what I was calling floral because it was bright. So I can't get a read on A, but it reminds me of D. D is like just butterscotch city. At seemingly a higher proof. Man. Proof is hard to read on that one because it's a very full palate, but it's not spicy. So then you're like, I could be 110, or I could also be 95. Okay. Glass E. It's hard to even know what to say about D. Let's go to Glass E now. Okay. Let's get this here. And there you go. Glass E on the nose I don't like as much. This reminds me of Glass C, where I feel like I'm getting a lot of like sharper, maybe more corn grain forward kind of notes on this. But this one's almost like roasted corn kind of notes or something. There is some dark fruit here. Almost in a turkey way. Almost in like a... Sometimes you get a blackberry note on turkey products. That's funny, Frankie. That's very funny. That's good. I thought it was grainier. I think it's just the profile. Like on the nose, I think it was just a brighter profile. Very good. C is not up to that standard. Hey, Zach, are you here tonight or not? I'm not sure if Zach's actually here. Probably not. If I had to guess a theme, well, the thing is Glass B is not that. Maybe it could be. If I had to guess one distillery for all of these, weirdly, I would say Turkey. I don't... Like, if for some reason they were all the same distillery, I'd say they're all Turkey. If that's his thinking. No, what's... Junior. Yeah, you caught me... You caught me at a good time. Excuse me, I'm belching like a fiend right now. All right. Junior, in the spreadsheet, it's just Unyer. The J is not present. So if you win, you're winning as Unyer. Okay, just tune into Cam saying it tastes like tea. There you go. Got you in for 4, man. Thank you. Back to Glass E. Glass E is very good. This has to be Turkey. Is this Camp Nelson E? Maybe. Could be Camp Nelson B. I really don't know. But whatever it is, it's good. Good intensity. Good it doesn't go over the top on the proof. I'm so out of practice with these blind flights. I know I'm going to get so many things wrong, but I have to go with my first impressions on all of these to do my best. So I'm going to say this is probably turkey, bourbon, mid-high proof. Okay, let's start narrowing things down now. So my preference on these bottles... I think that's still first place. I'm getting my order set first before I guess. That's actually how it's pronounced. You gringo. Yeah. God, dude. Glass D has to be an Old Fitz. It's just butterscotch. Okay, I love it. So B is still probably first. Because, I mean, the proof is high, concentration's high. Okay. Let me taste E one more time. My top three are between B, D, and E. C is definitely at the low end. And I think A, because I'm getting this weird note on A, is going to be last place. Whether or not that's part of the profile or some external factor, I don't know. But we're almost there with these. Guys, I'll get those super chats in a second. Let me just finish up here. All right, E. They're so different that I think if these are bottles that are not like single barrels that people have picked, if they're things that everybody here knows, I think any choice that anybody would make between these three would be divisive. Because it would be like, do you want lower proof butterscotch? Do you want high proof, kind of funky, oaky, maybe Barton? And then do you want like this mid-proof turkey that's like a good balance between spice and oak? Not too old, but like, you know, well blended. Like those are the profiles in my head, and those are three very different profiles between these three samples. And then you get to C, and C is just kind of hot and young. Sorry, that was like an Epstein line. Sorry about that. Then A's last for sure. Okay. Even though A, I no longer believe that's a rye. I no longer believe it's floral. I think A just has a weird note. Okay. I got to talk to Zach about these at the end. So I got my order, which is going to be B. This is going to be a toss-up, but I'm going to go B, D, E. What an acronym. B, D, E, C, A. Now let's make some guesses on stats. Yeah. All right. Glass A, one last time. That weird note is holding me back on age. 10-year bourbon, 100 proof. Is it 100 proof? I'm gonna cheat. Okay. 10-year bourbon, 100 proof. Dumb guess. Let's make this dumb guess. Heaven Hill, weeded. I just feel like it's related to Glass D. And I think they're both Old Fitzes. If they're not Old Fitzes, they're Dusties. Okay, let's keep it moving. Glass B. Reminder of what's in Glass B. Glass B. Listen, if this is not Barton, I think I'm broken. Glass B. I'm like so firmly in the camp that this is Barton now. Okay. The age is tough. It could be 13, it could be 18. There's a lot of oak here. Very good. Glass B. We haven't even done Heaven Hill 22. Okay. It's time to lock in. Okay. I said 10-year on Glass 1 though, and if I think it's an Old Fitz, they've never done a 10, I don't think. Maybe they have. I know they've done 9. They've done 11, 13. Never done a 12, I don't think. But I feel like D smells older. That smells like 15 or something. All right, back to B. I can't tell the proof on B. What's up, Tom? I just don't think the proof is that high. I'm gonna say, I wrote 120s down there. I don't think it's 120s. I don't even think it's that high. I'm gonna say 117. It's old, man. It's old and it's good. It might even be lower than that. I'm gonna say 15 years. Barton. I don't know. We got to move on. I don't have a bottle guess. All right, Glass C. Younger, higher proof, 7 to 8 years, 128. Let's see. Sorry, I'm getting boring. I'm going to go down from 128. I think I'm hedging down on proof now. Maybe incorrectly. I'll say 125. I'm going to say 7-year bourbon. Unfinished. Where does that come from? Not roses. It's bright and spicy. Not roses. Kind of smells turkey-ish, like E. And it's very spicy. Reminder of what C is. Here you go. Very spicy. Reminds me of, it's gotta be Kentucky. What else? I don't know the distillery. 125 7-year bourbon, unfinished. My distillery guess is going to be there's no turkey that matches that profile. Now I'm thinking about the bottle, but the actual profile Drop my headphone. I think this could be Bardstown Bourbon Company. It's like my best guess. Bardstown Bourbon Company. Let's go to Glass D. This is Weeded Heaven Hill. It's the same thing I feel like Glass A is, but I think this is older. I'm going to say 100 proof because it feels like an old Fitz. It might not be. It's not tasting as old right now. I'm say 11. 11 year. Last thing, Glass E. You know what? I thought this was turkey earlier. I said mid to high proof turkey bourbon. Kind of getting a Barton vibe from this now, too. Yeah, Jeremy, definitely in the weeds now. Let's get some water. All right. This is a hard blind. Very hard blind. Everything is like simultaneously similar, especially with like certain pairings, and then other things are just so different, you know? So the connections I'm like kind of putting together, I don't really get it. B is the one that stands alone, though. The others feel like they're in pairs. So if I had to guess, I'd say A and D are paired in a weird way, and C and E are paired in some way. Oh, Brett, I'm glad you like it, man. All right, E. That's good. E's good. Different palette on the 12 and 14 from previous years. Jason C. said 12-year batch 1 equate, and batch 2 and batch 4 are similar. He prefers 1 and 3 versus 2 and 4. I would agree with him there. Tracking with his tasting. I would agree with that. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Glass E. I'm going to stick with turkey. In parentheses, I'll say Barton as my second choice. Proof. Proof. God, it might be Barton. It's in the 120s. $122 proof. Age is 11 years. A lot of odd guesses. All right, let's do the reveal. My least favorite in the lineup, Glass A. I'm sorry this took so long. Glass A. My first impressions were weird. I'm getting this off note. I said rye, orange tea, floral, dryer sheet, and all that is there because there's this weird layer. And then underneath, it's just pure butterscotch. That reminds me of a Dusty or of a Heaven Hill Weeded Bourbon. I probably should have said Dusty on this. That weird note. There's something going on with this. 10-year bourbon, 100 proof Heaven Hill Weeded, Old Fitz. Yeah, this. I gotta talk to Zach about this. I can see this, that it's 15-year beam. 100 proof is correct. I said 10-year. What I don't understand is the note that I'm getting in here is not correct. So, like, I don't know if this came out of a bottle or what, but there is an off note to this. And it was the same thing last time, but it was way worse last time with the other sample that he sent. But I can underneath it, I can get that old Kentucky bourbon profile. 100 proof made sense. That one was just weird and confusing. Like if he told me that he poured it out of a sample bottle or like out of like a 200 ml sample into this, that would make sense to me. But if it came straight out of the bottle, for some reason I'm just getting something weird in there. All right, glass B. I said dark fruit, tobacco. It's either good Jack or kind of off-profile old school Barton. It's in the 120s. I eventually settled on 117 proof 15-year Barton. Oh, it's 15 year. It's 105, so it's not that high of proof, but Calumet 15. See, this is the old school Barton profile. It's medicinal, yes, but so that's Glass B. That was my favorite of the night, Calumet 15. I always liked that one though. Back in the day when I reviewed it. Glass C, younger, high proof, 7 to 8 years old. So I'm gonna be high on my proofs probably. I said 125, 7-year, unfinished Bardstown Bourbon Co. That's weird. It's 15-year Prideful Goat. So these are. Wait. Wait a second. Where did I put? Oh, A is up here. Huh. So they're all going to be 15 years old. That's the connecting. Okay. I can't believe that's 15 years old. So this says Heaven Hill. I wonder which batch this was of Prideful Goat 15. I think this was the Mystery Mash Beam. The Prideful Goat stuff should have been Mystery Mash Beam, not Heaven Hill. I can see it now. It tastes younger to me. I don't know why it tastes younger to me right now. On the finish, it tastes older, but it felt hot and spicy. So I said it was 125 proof. 114. So okay, I'm high on all my proof guesses. That's fine. But weird. Glass D. I said got all this butterscotch, weeded Heaven Hill, 100 proof, 11 year. I don't know, man. What is it? Okay. I feel like I'm redeemed now. It's an Old Fitz. I said Old Fitz 11. It's Old Fitz 14. Okay. I feel redeemed on that. That was the most like obvious profile of the flight, and I hoped I got it somewhat right. Okay. Glass E, this one is tough. Turkey, question mark, Barton, question mark. Oh, so they're not all 15 years. It's 14 years. That Old Fitz. Glass E. Don't tell me this is 15 years old. I said 122 proof, 11 year, Turkey, bourbon. Okay, good. Doc Swenson's exploratory 15 year. It's the Beam Mystery Mash, which is the freaking most confusing mash bill of all time. I said 11. It's fixed. Okay. It's very good, though. This was a very, very good bottle. So that's a lot of old whiskey. And a few of them felt like they had still a slight amount of sample taint to them, but not like the last ones. I don't know why that is. Glass A being the big culprit of that note. Yeah, I'm not sure. Which was the Knob Creek 15. That might have just been the bottle. Maybe the bottle has gone bad that Zach has of that stuff. All right, so this is a great comment. Talking about the Mystery Mash 785 13 85 mash. I know that Chris Hart from Prideful Goat said it's not Beam. That could be true. That could be true, but all the stuff coming out today with that mash is Beam, and nobody else is coming out with anything today with that mash. at least on the barrel market. So I don't know what to believe, but until the burden of proof, in my opinion, is on him to come out and actually prove, which he can't because he's NDA'd, that that's not Beam. So I'm going to say it's Beam until, other information comes to light. But I don't... It could be Heaven Hill. There's a bunch of copycat mash bills going on out there. Let me just grab these last super chats here. I got Junior. All right, Terry. Thank you, Terry. Terry is in for 2 more. Maple Bourbon Barbecue Bacon Whopper. Try to say that 3 times fast. Maple Bourbon Barbecue Bacon Whopper is sweet, but nice for fast food, maybe he meant. Thank you, Terry. Gotcha. Someone said Jason C. liked something. Really liked the Batch 510. Oh, good. But 12 and 14, excuse me, are a step back. I can completely jive with that. Tom Lonzo, thank you, man. So what do you guys think about this flight? This was a tricky flight. It's weird how a bunch of stuff with very similar age statements can drink so separately, like so differently. Tom, a little late to the party, but glad to see a blind in the mix. Thank you, Tom. I love getting back to the blinds. This one, a little late in the stream. You know what? It's okay. Kenneth. Thank you, Kenneth. And for 1 entry, gotcha. Said, I'm prepared to wake up disappointed. You might be the spoiler, man. You might be the spoiler. And let's see. Keep scrolling. Honey Barrel Hunter, thank you for the super sticker. $3. Brett said, by the way, really like the 11-year right in my wheelhouse. Saw that earlier. So fun to watch this. Happy to be here drinking with you all on top of good weather coming. Cheers. Thank you for being here, man. Yeah, we need the good weather. It sounds like outside we're getting some stuff right now. And then I think this might be the last super chat in here. I promise I'll get to the other ones on Venmo, and I don't know that there's any PayPals. JPAG said M25 Rye Fund. I wish, but thank you. In for 2, man. I got you. Randy denied it was. It may not be. I mean, there are copycat mashes for sure. Thrasher, what's up, dude? I'm going to misspell Thrasher just for the simplicity of... There we go. All right, in for 4 said, super late, but good to see you on. Thanks, man. Thrasher! I don't have the theme music that Matt does. Concert fan? Excuse me. Yeah, I think that's the conclusion, probably. Oh, that's Tim. Oh, what's up, Tim? Okay. Up next, we are leaving this crazy flight of 15 and 14, and what was the youngest out of this flight? 14, 15, 15. No, 15 and 14. I mean, that's it. Yeah. So we're going to grab now the Magnus Cigar Blend Batch 497. Color is like very dark for these, I feel like. 58.95%. All right, let's see what we got. Saturation level, 64%. Smells good. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, Eric, so like I'm thinking that there's some weird issue with a few of these samples from Zach, and it was so much more pronounced last time, and this time it's not that pronounced, but still present on, again, definitely the Knob Creek. Maybe not, which one was E? E was the, not Prideful, it was the Doc Swenson was E. I don't think E had anything weird. D, I don't think had anything weird. That was the old Fitz. C, I felt like C was kind of weird. The Prideful Goat, the sample, because it was so young tasting. think there's a little something weird on that one. And A too. So A and C felt off. But B, which was the Calumet, felt completely normal. So I'm going to ask Zach about it. And just, it's strange, but I'm so sensitive to that adhesive note. And that note will then like manifest as bright and I wrote drier sheet, orange tea, rye, herbal, floral. When in reality, A is Knob Creek 15. I trust myself enough to know that I would never say those things about Knob Creek 15 normally. Yeah, Jesse, sorry about that. Put that on the screen. Okay, Jeremy says this too. Yeah, almost 500 batches of Cigar Blend is crazy. Any particular reason for this batch? No, it's just I saw it today, and I've been hearing that all the recent batches are better. So I figured let's grab it, you know, take a risk and see. Because I didn't love that run in like the 200 batch range with kind of the, you know, yeasty MGP that they had. But this one already, this is not the same stuff. This smells way, way better. It's a little tight right now. It's a little spicy. But it smells good. Yeah, we'll get into it. Is this $200 good? You know, on the nose, not right now, but it still does smell very good. All right, Stone Cold. Steve, what's up, man? In for one, said new mouse fund. That's for, oh yeah, my mouse is toast. I have to buy a new one. I forgot. Deborah says, for sample bottles, we always boil them in a pot and then put them to dry in the oven at 350. I mean, that's that's a lot of work, but probably very good, you know? Jeremy said, I have the 15-year 3-chord mystery mash. Need to find some other samples, maybe too far back, though. Eric says, I can spot the chemical taint from a mile away. Yeah. And I think people sometimes think that I'm full of shit when I talk about that, because it's like, it is more prevalent than people think. When we send samples back and forth, that things get tainted. And it's never clear why it happens, but it really does happen, you know? Joe, use mine. Dude, yours is dead. It's on that side of the room, and it is dead. All right, Magnus. All right, let's get into it. This one is a spicy, like, it's only 100 and what? Basically, it's a 117.9 proof. Quick math. It's 117.9, so it's not high proof. But it's still kind of like tight from the, probably the Armagnac cask, kind of closing it off. You do get these date notes in here. But imagine like sprinkling pepper on like a candied date. Yeah, so dark fruit, candy sweetness, but like this peppery thing that kind of holds all the sweetness back. It's different. It's different than what I know from Cigar Blend. It's like a new chapter. It's good. It's really good. I think the price point is my only complaint now, because this is, you know, it's quality whiskey. I'm looking over here. I feel like as I look at like different price points, this is my backup shelf. These are barrel picks. I look at price points and I feel like this fits into like the 125 to 150 range. Getting this to 180 to 200, I think I paid 200 today. I just think it's a little much. Obviously they have the branding, the name, the hype around Cigar Blend. It's good. The new batches are better, for sure. They have more spice, so they're going to stand up. probably in a different way if you're a cigar smoker. I'm not, but earlier batches had more Armagnac, more sweetness, more like fruit notes. This is a little spicier, so it's gonna, but lower proof, so it's gonna do something different for you. I think this is a 150 bottle max. Not 200, but I really like it. Yeah, Rob, that sounds right. Oh, Jesse's talking about the sample taint stuff here. I found one of those Christmas sample pack boxes at the back of my shelf. 12 2-ounce bottles of Johnny Walker. Unfortunately, they were all in plastic insert bottles. Ruined. Like, I don't want people to, you know, have their stuff ruined. But there is a little validation when someone's like, dude, I tasted a sample that was messed up and I understand it now. There's a little validation in that. Just to be like, okay, I'm not crazy. It does exist. So, yeah, the higher batches here sounds like, and I feel like I've read this other places too, that Nancy's talking about. These are kind of getting back to the original specs, which is basically all MGP. MGP has changed, as we can all kind of taste over the years, but this is not the yeasty MGP that we got, you know, 200 batches ago, which sounds crazy to say that. Slad Pop is in. Yeah, dude, I'm feeling it now. I'm at that point. We're good. We're good. I got one more in me, which is the Heaven Hill 22, and then we're going to wrap it up. Super chats. I don't think I've missed anything in here. Oh, no, I have. No, I got Stone Cold. I think I'm good. So I got to get all the Venmos, so I'm going to work on that now. Excuse me, as we get into Heaven Hill 22. So let's say that the super chats are cut off now at 11:35. So that's like basically 4 minutes from now. It's about to turn 11:31. So 4 minutes from now, we are going to cut off super chats. All right. I gotta buy these bottles real quick. Good old secondary. Okay. All right. Heaven Hill 22. Gotta get a glass. And it's raining. Sounds like pretty hard outside. To Adam's... All right, Sam, what are you saying? No, no, Jesse. I mean 11:35, unless somebody, like, you know, comes in at the last minute before I'm drawing. But point taken. Sam. Yep, Sam F. in for one. To Adam's kid getting his super chat cut off. Oh, I had to read that out loud, Sam. That's hilarious. Let's see. Wonder how special the original Armagnac casks or fooders were. There's not as much great yak as there are cigar blends now. Agreed. Yeah. I do wonder about this. I wonder about how they're selecting their casks. Obviously, Nancy has a good relationship probably with Armagnac producers, but I do wonder about the consistency in those casks. Caduce, trying to get... Kadonk. In for one. Thank you, Mike. Mikey Caduce. I'm going to pull up Venmo. I think PayPal had nothing in it. All right, guys. So if you're just now cutting to this part in the video, I'm holding this up. You're probably like scrubbing through the bar at the bottom to find this, Heaven Hill 22. Quick review here on the live stream. First impressions. There's second impressions because Patreon got the first ones yesterday. We're going to get into this. Yes, we are 2.5 hours deep in the stream, but we are going to get into this. Also, guys, please no more super chats after 11:35 Eastern. Please. I want to get caught up, wrap this up. All right. We have no PayPal. We have only Venmo, which is great. But we are trying to wrap that up. All right. I want to play golf with Dan Shook. You might be the only one, dude. I'm just kidding. I just don't golf. All right, Heaven Hill 22. Proof 129.2. 22 years old. Comes from the 5th and 6th floors of Warehouse Y. Standard mash. We don't know if this is barrel proof. And this has a range of production dates. February, July, and August of 03. So there you go. Very hard on this bottle yesterday. We're not going to do a bunch of comparisons right now because late in the stream, I have to be awake in 7.5 hours from right now, and then go play a dress rehearsal in the morning and like be competent. So can't go crazy, but is it a single rick? I don't know. Definitely not a single rick. I mean, it's like 270 barrels, I think. So definitely not a single rick. 3 different production dates between 2 floors. I mean, single rick house, yes, but not a single rick in the rick house. Adam, dude, listen. All right, guys, here's the deal. Adam just super chatted $100. I want everybody in the chat right now to tell Adam how much he sucks. Please tell Adam. He says F Cam and Sam. And listen, we're his best friends, so everybody tell Adam in the chat that he sucks. Please. Just spam the chat. All right, Lawrence, with the barrel raised, glass link for Drums and Drams for these Stolzle glasses with the branding on them. Thank you, man. For anyone interested, there you go. Tell Adam he sucks. Also, Adam, thank you for the super chat. You're my friend, and I hate you. Okay. Is the collective sponsoring this? It's funny. Adam, why are you here? Big suck, says Terry. Yeah, Terry's got it. All right, Heaven Hill 22. Here we go. On the nose. So here's the thing about this on the nose. It's a big contrast. On one side, I get age. I get Heaven Hill oak. I get like a I've said this note so many times tonight, but I've gotten it in different ways. I get a cola Heaven Hill oak. Slightly bittersweet, slightly savory on the nose. But I also get like this unnecessary heat on a 22-year bourbon that has like a strange menthol ethanol crawling up your nose sensation that I feel like even at 129 proof after 22 years, you don't really need to have that, you know? All right. It's really good. Yeah. All right. So it's very good whiskey. But there's something about it that's overly spicy and top heavy where I just want more rich oak. Lucy, My cat is back. She was hiding in a corner from the storms. All right, she's going upstairs. I'm not going to lock her down here. But I feel like this batch of Heaven Hill 22, excuse me. I feel like it's a little overly hot. I feel like it doesn't quite have the support of like a sweet oak, or just even like any kind of richness from the oak to truly support what's going on here. Yes, there is still oak, there is still age, there is still kind of like a burnt caramel, you know, highly aged Kentucky bourbon profile here. But what I want out of this more, and I don't think it's just me, I don't think it's just my expectation, I want a little more sweetness overall and a little more body to the whiskey. I talked about this earlier in the stream with like the high bank stuff, which is very different, but you want more body from the whiskey to support the top layer of spice, ethanol intensity. You need more sweet oak underneath it. You need more vanilla or something underneath it to contrast the cola heavy oak that you get with this unnecessary top spice. So it's really good. Am I going to pay SRP for this? 100%. Am I going to pay secondary for this? No, not even close. To me, this is a whiskey in the bottle. I don't know what I said last night to Patreon or 2 nights ago. I think it's like a $400 whiskey in the bottle kind of thing. Maybe $450. Collector, I want to buy allocated whiskey, whatever. It's $550 to $600, you know? But this should not be above that on secondary because it's very imperfect. It doesn't have a wow factor to it. It's just very good. And I think honestly, like for Heaven Hill, it's not bad, but it's not what you should be doing with 22-year bourbon, you know? I don't know. And I love Heaven Hill. Heaven Hill's my favorite distillery. Old Heaven Hill, Oakley, Watch Hill Proper, all those single barrels, Willet single barrels. Old William Heaven Hill, you know, the original kind of, you know, high proof batches, like all that stuff is really good. Tell them I don't have any more of that, no. This needs something else. Everybody, I think, is going to agree that it needs something else, but their interpretation of it after that will vary widely. Like, I've heard people say, like, yeah, it's not perfect, but it's really good, and I'm going to pay $1,000 for it. And I've heard people say, it's so bad, I don't want it. But I think all of us can come to like a middle ground consensus and say, listen, it's 22 years old. It does taste like old bourbon. I like that it has those like oak notes. It has that Heaven Hill profile. We can agree on like those facts. And then after that, whether or not you like it or you think it needs something else, we can differ there. And I'm going to go on the negative route and say like, yeah, I would pay $400 for this, but I want more out of this whiskey based on the expectation they've set from, let's just say Heaven Hill 17 or something like that, you know? All right. And listen, obviously, I'm like 15 pours deep or whatever it is in the stream. You know, it's late in the night, but these are the same reactions I had last night to this whiskey, and I'll taste it again. I'll probably taste it a couple times after that. I think it's going to be largely consistent what I say about this one, and I'll hopefully at the end of this process of tasting this several times find like my best way of talking about this. But right now it's just that something's lacking. It's really, really good whiskey. Is it top 10 of the year? Like, still maybe yes, depending on what comes out this year. Could be top 10. But when Heaven Hill is coming out with a 22-year, 129.2 proof whiskey, the expectations are just through the roof. Maybe we shouldn't have those expectations, but I can't help but have those expectations of Heaven Hill. Yeah, Jesse. All right, guys, please, no more super chats. I think we're good in the chat here. I have 1 million Venmos to get to. And when I say 1 million, I mean like 20. So let's get into those. I'm going to put the bottle over here, but I'm going to keep sipping on this Heaven Hill 22, excuse me. The 20 would be mellow corn. All right, let's start from the top on the Venmos. I'm so sorry about this. Guys, I'm going to move through these quick. Adam H. in for 4. Thank you, Adam. We have Travis R. is in for 2. Says, from one squire to another. We're Tennessee squires, thanks to Travis. All right. Larry B. in for 2. Thank you, Larry. Austin McCoy in for 1 says, please. Thank you, Austin. I spelled your name wrong, and I'm going to leave it because we have to move through this. Anthony Lawson in for 2. There you go, Anthony. Appreciate you. And Peter Chase in for 2 also. He said, fresh crack of the Green River Foolproof and E.H. Taylor Rye. Guys, anybody in here right now, what do you think of, if you've tried it, the E.H. Taylor Rye? Not just the low proof, but also the barrel proof rye. I like the low proof actually better than the barrel proof. I thought the barrel proof was not very good. Jesse, got you, man. It's cat treats. Thank you, bro. In for 2. Ed Porter, thank you, Ed. Good to see you in here tonight, man. In for 2. Ed is local to Columbus. All right. Wow, we have... I'm so sorry about doing this, guys. All in a row. Ryan D in for 4. Anybody in the chat tonight, any thoughts or comparisons or tastings, anything you're thinking about based on some of the stuff that I've tasted through tonight? Poured some HH18, but not bad, but not Russell's 15. I agree with that. I was really hard on Heaven Hill 18, but that's based on the Heaven Hill 17 profile, which was so different, so dark, so rich. And then they came out with the 18. I had hope. The proof point was great. And then it was like a lighter, sweeter, I don't know, something. Kill the banner. Thank you. Okay, there we go. EH low proof was a letdown to... okay, I could see that. I do like it in its own way, but yeah, it does not blind well. Hope to finally get a chance at a JD10 this batch, says Terry. How does Heaven Hill 18 compare? I don't know yet, Sam. I gotta get a sample. Have you had Heaven Hill 27? Yes, I have. Heaven Hill 27 tastes like a Dusty. It's very, very butterscotchy, rich oak, but also bittersweet oak. I mean, 27 years, you get a certain level of oak on that has some bitterness to it. But I think Heaven Hill 27 straddles the line between Dusty profile and modern, highly aged profile very well. But the price point on secondary, I don't like, because I feel like it's $2,000 or something. I feel like I can get a Dusty for $2,000 or even $800 that I would rather drink than Heaven Hill 27. All right, let's get to more super chats here. Got Ryan last time. Let's keep going. Bradley B. Come on now. Bradley B. There we go. Spelled it right. In for 2 says live stream fun. Thank you, Bradley. Corey Pomeroy. I grew up in a town called Pomeroy. That's crazy. In for 2. Thank you, man. Thanks, Corey. Eric Christensen. In for 2. Thank you, Eric. Gardner Reese is in for 1. Thank you, Gardner. Bobby H. Bobby Holton Probably spelled it wrong. I'm just ripping it right now, guys. Sorry. All right. Got you in for 2. Scott Von Cannell, excuse me, in for 1. Said, cheers, any thoughts on doing a Magnus pick? No thoughts on that. We had the option to do it. I think like we could have made that happen, but I just was not confident in the quality. But if people are saying they're good, I just thought they might have been yeasty. I've heard some stories about those. Ben Arrington in for 4. Thank you, Ben. Said, cheers to another great Thursday night live stream. Thank you, Ben. Jeremy White, Mr. Slat himself, in for 2, says the Lucy Laser Chaser Fund. Back to the chat real quick. Jesse, I love JD12. Traded my 14 last year for a 2024 GTS. So, Jesse, what was your problem with the 14 last year? Out of curiosity. Can you do a Jack Daniels rye pick? We could definitely make that happen. I've never been confident that we can sell a Jack pick. We have a big group, but I think the group is more interested in like some of the nerdy NDP stuff, single barrels that are out there. I've always been worried about a Jack pick. I'm gonna put this on the screen. This is funny. Jesse, I agree. Like I like it. It stands out in a blind. It does well in a blind. But even in the blind, you can't help but notice those sharper attributes of the Jack 14. Slad in for another one. In for 2, said Madeleines are some of the best cookies. And coincidentally, wait. Hang on. I got Jeremy W and Jeremy H. All right, Jeremy W, though, said Madeleines are some of the best cookies. And Madeline is my daughter's name in June. Cody B, thanks, man. In for 4. Matt Cochran in for 2. Back-to-back Thursdays. Hashtag blessed. Thanks, dude. I don't know about that. Brian L in for 3 says stash snacks and sips. All right, we're close, guys. Guy is gonna get how many entries here? In for 6. Thank you, Guy. Appreciate you, man. Jason Zell being very generous with a $50 donation. Thank you, Jason. Said, cheers, brother. Cheers right back at you. Easton Oliver is in for 2. Mr. Jadiv, Joe Doherty, is in for 1. Tony Tapney, is in for 2. Says, cheers. Thank you, Tony. 2 more. Matthew C is in for 2. He says for 2 entries. Finally, James Preston is in for 2 as well. I think that's it. I think we got him. All right. Let me check PayPal one last time. Another sip of Heaven Hill 22. Again, Heaven Hill 22 is very good. I just think part of the problem is that we all have this expectation, me included, that this is going to be some world-ending whiskey, and it's just not that. It tastes like a good 15-year, kind of like heavier oaked 15-year product from Heaven Hill. It does not taste like 22-year Heaven Hill. At least for me. I don't know. It's better tonight, but I'm kind of drunk right now. So there you go. When is the Russell's pick? Probably this summer. Early summer. We have some very good barrel picks coming. Satch level, 80%, Jesse. 87%. And next Wednesday, I'm going to be tasting through some 19 and 20-year bean barrels for the Patreon. It's going to be a short barrel. It might not make it out of the top tiers, but very excited for that. I got one super chat. I'm glad I checked it from PayPal. Nick I in for 5. Thank you, man. All right, let's run the giveaway, guys. I told you to be frugal, please, tonight. And I think largely speaking, you were, and I appreciate that. So 2 sample pack winners this evening for 12 different 1-ounce samples. You can find all those in the description of the video. Everything I tasted tonight, like main releases, not comparisons, plus a few others, which are barrel picks that we did as well. Let me share my screen with you guys. Tried Altschuler & Co. Yes. Yes, I have. Many times. I love Altschuler. All right. Let's share the screen. There we go. And okay. So on the top, you see Mike G. See Jeb. Down here, we've got Nick I. 7 spins tonight. 7 spins. If you win, please email me. 2 winners, no duplicate winners. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. 3. It says 3 here. 4, 5, 6, and here is 7. All right. Jason Zell and Easton O. Congrats, you guys. You are the winners tonight of the sample packs. Take a screenshot of that. I have both of their addresses already from previous giveaways, so there we go. Congrats. And thank you guys for the support tonight. I'm going to jump off of here. One last sip of Heaven Hill 22. Easton, you've literally won so many giveaways, like here and Patreon, that I cannot believe it. You have to unsubscribe now. All right, y'all. I'll see you on Discord for the Patreon members tonight. I'll be in there for a little bit, but I'll clean up a little. I gotta get to sleep. I gotta chug water, eat a little food, get to sleep, and have a dress rehearsal in 10 hours. So, cheers, guys. Thank you for being here tonight. Hit that like button on your way out. Sorry to, bog you down for 3 hours, but it was a great stream. Covered a lot of ground. Good comparisons. The Jack stuff I have to retaste. Kind of like gather my thoughts on that. Heaven Hill 22 I feel like I'm pretty settled on. And the other stuff I feel like was a little bit more obvious how I felt. Angel's Envy, the Magnus, all the high bank stuff, etc. So cheers. I'll see you soon. And I am doing my best balancing everything right now, so I appreciate your patience. Have a good night, guys. Cheers, and have a good weekend.